All right, let's dive right in. There's a firestorm brewing around Brazil's Supreme Court, especially after the January 8th attacks. You've probably heard the accusation that the court is on a political witch hunt. But, a new analysis we're looking at today, it flips that entire story on its head, and what it reveals is, frankly, way more complex and explosive than it first seems.
So, at the very center of this whole thing is one very powerful accusation. That this is all just a politically motivated witch hunt. And we've seen that exact phrase used, right, by figures like Donald Trump, aimed squarely at the legal proceedings against former President Jair Bolsonaro and his supporters.
And that really sets up the big question we need to wrestle with today. Is Brazil's highest court actually launching a political attack? Or is this something else entirely? Is this a democracy fighting to defend itself from a threat it's never seen before? To even begin to get to the bottom of that, we have to first get our language straight, because a ton of the international criticism really comes down to two very important and very often confused legal ideas.
Okay, so it all boils down to this. On one side, you've got judicial activism. That's kind of what it sounds like, right? A judge basically going rogue, making a ruling based on their own personal politics, not the actual law. But then there's this other thing, judicialization of politics. That's completely different. That's when a court has to step in on some huge political mess because the other parts of government, like the legislature, have failed to act. And that distinction? It's everything.
So let's be super clear. Judicial activism, that's the specific charge fueling this whole witch hunt story. The accusation is that these judges are breaking the rules, that they're just driven by their own political agendas. The real question, though, is, does that claim actually hold water when you look at the facts? All right, so now that we've got our terms straight, let's actually apply them. Let's look at what Brazil's Supreme Court, the STF, actually did after the attacks on January 8th. Was it activism, or was it something else?
Well, when you actually look at what happened, it just doesn't seem to fit the definition of activism. I mean, the court didn't just act on its own whim. It acted because the prosecutor general requested it. It stayed within its constitutional boundaries. And this is the really critical part. Every single person accused was given full due process. They had the right to challenge everything, and they were guaranteed a full, robust defense. See, that's not activism. That's just procedure.
And then you get this absolutely stunning counter-argument. It's from Stephen Levitsky, the Harvard professor who co-wrote How Democracies Die, so he knows a thing or two about this. And he makes this incredible claim, that Brazil's ability to handle these attacks actually shows its democracy is getting stronger. That's